Here we are again. Oppa! Oh, that's Greek. Whoops. Right, Calabria in the house. So I lost track of time, if I'm honest. I had the lid off. I told you I was going to leave it on, but I took it off to Sarah and then I answered the phone. So I was on the phone for like, I don't know, 15 minutes. How's this for funny? So my dad, right, is Scottish, he's hilarious. He owns a cab. And so he was telling me about this bloke he spoke to. He stopped working now because obviously Armageddon, lockdown, all the rest of it. But he was saying, he goes, oh, I had this guy in the car the other day. This is always my favourite, these stories. He comes back with some beauties. And he goes to me, oh, you know, like, the government's just doubled my unemployment benefit, bro. And Dad's like, yeah, I'd heard about that. Like, how good, whatever. He's like, yeah, but what's the point of it, mate? And Dad's like, what do you mean? Like, thinking, hang on. And he's like, well, I can't spend it because the pokies are shut and the pubs are all closed. Whatever. So it's good to know that the unemployment benefits that are being doubled are, you know, being intended to be used for the right things, not. Anyway, funny story. So what are we up to? So I put the lid back on because, as I said, I was meant to leave it on that whole time but forgot because I got distracted. You know, story of my life. What I've got here is, okay, cool. I'll show you. It's starting to bubble nicely. And there's another thing I forgot to put in, which I'm going to do that now, and that's a bay leaf. I'm going to put 2 bay leaves in, 1, 2. And that just adds a different flavour. Can't explain it, don't know why. It's what you do though when you make masses and masses of tomato-based sauce. So I'll grab that now. So bay leaves, I get them dry from the supermarket, just that Hoyt's brand. So that's one there. You can even smell it straight away. They're almost, I don't know, they're so fragrant. They're really, really good. I also use them when I'm making like lentils. If I was gonna do like a lentil stew or like a dal type thing, I'd chuck a bay leaf or 2 in. In fact, these are like nice shaped whole ones. So I might use 3. No, I'm gonna use 2. I'm gonna wash it. And I'll pop them in. I'm definitely gonna use 3. Hang on. You just gotta feel it as it happens, you know what I mean? Like I can't give you, that's why I can't give you like full on measurements, because I just kind of feel it, whatever it feels right at the time. No, I don't like the look of that one. That one's broken, but it's about the right size, so I'll use that one. Oh my God, it smells good. Yes, hang on. Yeah, so see how you can actually see, so the bay leaf's just sinking, all 3 of them slowly just sinking. So see how it's like a bit frothy, like that? That's exactly what you want, because all of the, oh fuck, hang on. It just got me on the finger. So that means it's starting to do what it's supposed to do. So it'll go that frothiness first, and you start to see on the side of the pot, eventually as it starts to cook down, you'll see like the oil and that kind of gathering on the side of the pot as it cooks down. So you'll see, like when we come back in an hour or something, you'll see like the actual distance of the difference between the 2 heights. So I can feel on the bottom it's a bit sticky, right? So that's why you want to keep stirring it, and then like put a bit of pressure on the bottom there so you can move that around, otherwise that's the first place it'll burn. So give it a stir. How it has started to boil, I'll chuck the lid back on, and then again it's still at like 9 out of 9. I'll let this boil, which it might just go straight away. You can see, oh you can't actually, I can see through the lid, but you can't because it's the camera. It'll start to blip, 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 like that. So it'll boil hard in a minute, and then I'll take the lid off and turn down the volume. I was gonna say turn down the temperature, and then let it sit, lid off, simmering. Oh, how good's this? So, Calabria, it's the south of Italy. Nonna was born in a place just outside a place called Cosenza, so she was born in a little town called Rose. I've been there, it's very small, it's about as big as that breadboard. It's cool though. It's called rose. That's how you'd actually say it, which actually means roses. So there's roses all through the actual town. Like you drive up from the bottom of the hill. Good story actually. So when I was there, we were wanting to check this place out. So we were staying in Cosenza, which is the largest town nearby. Probably like 50,000 people, pretty war-torn kind of place. A lot of the Italians left after the actual war, you know, World War II, came to Australia in the 50s. So that's what happened, you know, in my family. Mum came here when she was 2 on a boat with my Nonna. Her father, my grandfather, he was already here. So they came over, early 50s, basically, you know, grew up in Adelaide, as you do, lots of Italians all kind of congregating together. So a lot of the people that, you know, I grew up with were from that same village, or paese as they call it. So, you know, you might not be actual related, but if you're from the same paese, then you're considered paesani, which means like relis, but not, if you know what I mean, not blood related, but you kind of are, because that's how, you know, it works. So I go back to Italy, 2009. I'd never been before. So we're in Cosenza, me and my mate Donna, and we're like, well, let's go check out where Mum was born. So we go to the bus station, and like I speak enough kind of conversational Italian to get through, right? So I spoke to the guy at the bus station. I was like, oh, where do I get a ticket to Rose? And he goes, Paese Rose, like Rose the province type thing. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you sure you want to go there? Again, this is all in like hectic broken Italian. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what for? And I'm like, well, my mum was born there. Ah, okay, all right. Go see that bloke over there. So I went for a walk over here, said to this guy, hey, that dude just sent me over here, I need a ticket to Rose. He goes, Paese Rose. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what for? I'm like, my mum was born there, I just want to go check it out. And he's like, ah, okay, yeah, here's your ticket, it's €1, that's the bus. Boom, 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 off I go, bus driver, get on the bus. And he goes, you sure you're on the right bus? I said, yeah, why? He goes, this is going to Paese Rose. I said, yeah, I know, that's where I want to go. He's like, what for? And I'm like, oh my God, because my mum was born there, I want to check it out. Ah, okay, no worries. Gives me my ticket stub, get on the bus, we sit down, we wait. Driving around, picked up like 2 people, whatever, not much going on. Start going up the hill, and as we're like en route, he gets on the mic and he's like, American girl, come to the front. And I was like, okay. So I get to the front and he's like, so you American? I'm like, nah, I'm Australian, whatever, chat. And he's like, oh, so you said your mother's born here? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what's her name? So I told him. And then he's like, I'm pretty sure she's related to my wife by this, that, and the other. And then I said, oh my God, I think you're right. So this bloke, his wife was like distant relis to my mum, and mum hadn't been to Rose for like, you know, since she was a little girl. And then he goes, oh, where do you want to go visit now? And I told him I was going to visit this relative who was up the hill, and then I wanted to see where my mum was born in this particular house. So he's like, oh yeah, I know that street. It's called Via Fossato, which is Fossato Street. He goes, yeah, all right, I'll drop you off there. I'll finish my bus run and then I'll bring you back down. I said, all right. He goes, actually, I think your mum's cousin runs an ice cream shop at the bottom of the hill. I said, she does. That's exactly where I'm going later. And he's like, perfect. So he literally drops us off, does the rest of his run, picks us up at the end, brings us down to the ice cream shop. I went in, introduced myself to my mum's cousin. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I haven't seen your mum for ages. Mum had been back to visit once in the meantime, actually. Ice cream, cake, chit chat. How's your uncle? How's everyone? Blah, blah, blah. And that was just unbelievable, like proper village activity, you know, and really quite fun. And so then the guy came at the end of the day, picked us up from this ice cream shop, took us back to the bus station. Thanks for coming. See you later. Like, see you next time. It was really cool. Like you wouldn't have dreamt about it really, and you couldn't have probably gone there without a little bit of Italian, because it's like so regional, you know, it's really cool. So that's my story of Calabria for the day. And as I say, it's all about Calabria today. It's all about cooking, you know, feasting around the table with all your families, what you want. As I said before, you know, a lot of this feasting will be happening via Zoom and Google Hangout and Messenger and all that, because obviously lockdown, Armageddon, stay clean, stay safe, stay away from each other. So I'm just going to check the sauce and then we'll come back to you. Right, see how it's bubbling away nicely? That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to give it one last stir. Well, for now, it's going to get lots of stirs over the next couple hours. And then I'm going to turn it down to like 5, like half temperature. And then it's just going to sit here cooking with the lid off for the majority of the time, which is why your kitchen gets to look a bit like something out of CSI, because all the tomato is going to spatter, but that's all right. It's where it's already started. Look, there's some there. Look, just there. Anyway, all right, hang on. Yeah, so it's starting to smell real good in here. Lid's off. I've given it a stir. I'll come back and stir it probably every 15-20 minutes. And what's the time now? 20 past 1. So I reckon this will be ready by about 4 o'clock. But as I said, I'll just check it out and play it a little bit by ear. That's for you, Georgia. Play by ear and see how we go a bit later on in the day. So I'll be back with you, and then after all that excitement, we'll actually have a plate of pasta to eat tonight, and I'll show you how I'll put it in the freezer and all the rest of it. So far so good. Speak soon. Quick update, team. It's been 20 minutes and I just want to show you how the sauce is looking. Right, see how you've got like soft bits and hard bits starting to form? That's perfect. So that's when you want to make sure you give it a stir, because if that's happening on the top, it might be happening on the bottom. And remember, that's when you can actually burn it. So give it a stir. Again, I can feel, you can even hear it, like the little lumpy bits at the bottom, so just make sure you stir them out. And then that becomes a part of the sauce, because even though they're a little bit sticky underneath, that's where the flavour is at this point. So that's, see how it's happening on the bottom of the pan, that's sticking out of the bottom of your wooden spoon. That's exactly what you want. So I've made it all smooth on the top again, and I'm just going to keep letting it bubble away. Right, here we are. It's been an hour and 20 since we last spoke. Again, you've got like these sort of hardened bits and softer bits. You can see it's starting to like look cooked, which is obviously the aim of the game. You can really feel at the bottom the bits that are sticking. Important to keep it moving. And like I said, you can start to sort of see where where it's coming down the side of the pan, that pot there. I keep calling it a bloody pan, but it's a pot. So I'm going to taste it now, because like I said to you, you can taste it after an hour or thereabouts of cooking. Oh, there's a bay leaf, chuck that back in. So give us a minute and then I'll see how it tastes. All right, so I want to give it a taste. I just put a little bit in this. It's a bit hot. Yeah, so it tastes good, but it doesn't taste ready because it's still obviously cooking. Like you can see, oh, it looks really good. Like there's heaps of, I don't know if you can see that, but it's really like shiny. You can see the oil that we put in, but also there's like a lot of fat coming out of the chicken. Not a lot, like, because it wasn't fatty chicken. It's just that, like I said earlier, the thigh pieces are typically a bit more fatty than the breasts. So it's looking really good. It's glistening. It just needs more time to cook. And I'm not sure if it needs anything more yet. I haven't decided. I might chuck in a little bit more. Not sure. I'm thinking maybe some salt. You can taste it at the back of your throat, which is good. Like you want that bite, because that's what the tomato does. As it cooks down, it gets real, just traditional, you know, what you'd expect. I'm on the fence if I should put a little bit of sugar in, but I haven't decided yet. I did use carrot, which is quite sugary, so that's gonna do what the sugar might actually do. But yeah, so far so good, but I reckon maybe a little bit of salt, so I'm gonna do that, and we'll check in again in another, I don't know, half an hour or so. Right, so update, I decided, yes, I put in like a level teaspoon of sugar. This is like the only thing I measured, because obviously you don't want to overdo the sugar. Level teaspoon of sugar, and then another little of salt. and then gave it a stir, and then I reckon we'll be right. So no time has passed since a second ago. I'll just I'll keep an eye on it, keep stirring, make sure it's not sticking, and then we'll see how we go. All right, it's been like another probably 25 minutes since I added that salt and sugar, so I'm just going to taste it again. Hang on. Oh yeah, perfect. So good. Yeah, you can really start to feel, it's like getting thicker. It just tastes more wholesome, I guess. It's exactly what you want. And as you can see, like I've said to you, I won't put that back in. Hang on. I'll put this one in because that was obviously clean. You can see how there's like that distance I was telling you. So that's when you know, yep, it's starting to cook down exactly like you want. And it's starting to feel like it looks thicker. Oh God, it tastes so good. It smells real good in here. And yeah, so the chicken as well, you'll notice as you're stirring it, there's not like the 6 bits of chicken are getting smaller because the chicken's breaking down and just becoming pieces, because this will just be, the chicken will eventually kind of be all shredded through the sauce, which you don't have to necessarily go ahead and do. It'll just happen on its own, and then you can take out the largest bits that you want. See, there's a piece of it there. You can take out the largest pieces that you want and put it on the side when you're actually eating it with your pasta, which we'll do later. All right, so pointy end. We're nearly at the plating up, so I'll just give you a quick recap, because I know I've been talking about how long is this going to take to cook. It cooked in the end for nearly 3 hours. I put it back on after I went for a walk, it had been cooking for 2 hours. I turned it off, went for a walk, came back, put it back on low and let it simmer for the next hour just to make sure. I tasted it, it's so good. I've put the pasta on now. So we're gonna have like a bowl of pasta, which we'll put chili and cheese on top. You'll see photos, I'll put it on the account there. And I've also showed you in that other video the peas we're gonna have on the side. So it's gonna be so nice home cooking. You know, as I said earlier on, it's all about, you know, keeping the community connected and together as best we can, considering we're gonna be in lockdown pretty soon. So, you know, tonight's all about you know, celebrating my Nonna and what cooking's meant to me over the years, and also just remembering the actual poor folks in Italy who are really suffering with the COVID-19 virus. So, you know, cheers to them, cheers to each other. Keep your feedback coming, keep your, you know, your own inspiration coming on through, which has been really, really cool. And I'll show you now quickly the actual look of the sauce now that it's done, and then I'll put some pictures of the actual finished product before we eat it. Right, here we are. Pasta's on, boiling. Beautiful. I've used Barilla gluten-free, the penne, that one there. The sauce itself, like I said, there's all spatter everywhere because that's what happens. The sauce itself looks like that now that it's done. Nice and thick. There's a bit of water coming off that lid, that's all right. I'll give it a stir just so you can see it. Yeah, beautiful, nice and thick. The chicken's all breaking down all by itself. So that'll go in with the pasta, cheese and chili on top, and away we go. Right, so here we are, finished product, glistening with the cheese on top, looking pretty delicious. We've got the peas in the corner, sauce on top, wine in the background. We'll enjoy this, and you'll see some pics online. Thanks heaps, ciao. Thanks heaps for listening today and watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really had a fun time making it. As I say, it's a bit of a commitment to do the sauce. That's why I only do it like once a month. I'll put it in the freezer and it'll be there ready to go whenever I need it. So hope you're all well, keep safe, wash your hands, don't get swept up in you know, going to the beach like these yardas that have been doing that in other states. So keep safe, keep your distance, don't touch each other, keep sane, and catch you soon. Ciao. Hey guys, afterthought. One of the things that really annoys me about cooking shows and that is when they don't actually try the food on camera. And I just realized I didn't do that here. So I'm gonna, I've been outside for like 10 minutes, I reckon. I've inhaled this food, it's that good. But I just want to show you the finished product, right? So, see if you can't see it better. So here you've got a little bit of like shredded chicken on the pasta. So good, hang on. So good. It's really, really good. Like it's just like everywhere in your mouth. And then the peas as well. Like they can go next to it. If you want to, you could even, like mine kind of mixed a little bit because I had them in the same plate. But they're just so good. Totally like creamy. You know, there's butter. The peas have got that creamy texture because they're a bit overdone instead of poppy. Like as in they don't really pop as much in your mouth. But the chicken is like real good. Like I don't really eat that much chicken these days. But it goes all shredded, like I said. Bit of chili, bit of parmesan. Unreal. So I just wanted to say, again, thanks. I think I've said goodbye like 3 times this video, but who cares? It's Armageddon. It's lockdown. Everyone's bored. Let's make sure we actually stay entertained, and hopefully we get somewhere in the real near future. Keep safe, keep healthy, don't touch each other. Chat.